Hey, what's up everyone? It's Jimbo and welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be looking at this right here. This is the MJJC SV3 foam cannon. And yes, they did send this to me, but I am not being compensated in any way other than them sending me an $84 foam cannon. So if you think that $84 will really skew my opinion of anything, maybe I'm not the channel for you. Anyway, that's not the point. The point of this video is to look at this MJJC foam cannon version 3 and talk about some of the niceties about it, talk about some of the key features that I like about it, and I'll just be really honest from the get-go. Like, I'm just as happy with a $13 foam cannon as I am with an $85 foam cannon, which is what this foam cannon is gonna set you back. But in this video, I wanna talk about some of the niceties and go over this foam cannon and then do something that I haven't seen a lot of other YouTubers do with this one and actually use it in person. So we're gonna take it outside and foam my car. It just happens that I need to wash my car anyway. And so we're gonna take this outside and use it and show you, but we're gonna do an up close and talk about, there's one key feature with that 360 rotation of the foam that I've really only seen in other, the MTM foam cannons, but they actually have it in this foam cannon that I think is actually a cool feature. So I'll bring you in a little closer, I'll show you what you get inside the box, different orifices, and then different key features about this MJJC SV3 foam cannon coming up in this video. One of the nice things about the MJJC is that you're actually gonna get a box with it, and this is the V3, obviously. So with the box, has some pretty compelling imagery with it, and then you're gonna get, let's see, also gonna get the 1.1 millimeter orifice if you like that. That is ideal if you have like electric pressure washers that don't have much flow. That will help. Me personally, I've never been a fan of changing the orifice. I just leave it how it comes. And you're also gonna get a little bit of marketing for their short spray gun that I guess is coming. And you're also gonna get accessories and adapters, just kind of a whole pamphlet. That is who you're gonna get when you call the number, her actually. Just kidding, I don't know about that at all. And then it's also gonna give you some imagery on how to actually use the foam cannon. So if it's your first time with a foam cannon or anything like that, it's gonna tell you how you can use the 1.1 instead of the 1.25 orifice. So you could do that, tighten it down, make sure everything's good. Talks about an adapter, talks about how to adjust the foam capacity and the spray distance. And the spray angle is actually a 360 spray, which is actually really cool. We haven't seen that since, or we don't see that, I guess, on a lot of the cheaper ones. And the foam cannon itself is really nice. And if you think about, or if you've watched any of my recent videos at all, I really take a liking to things that are aesthetically pleasing. So that is important to me. Do I love that it's this color blue? No, but I think that there's other things that I really like about it that make things different. The ball, I have noticed the kind of stainless ball at the bottom of these dip tubes or these tubes make a big difference when you're talking about generating foam. I really appreciate that there is a measuring on the side of the bottle. I think that's really, really cool as well. I like that it's clear. I think we're gonna see a little bit of a movement to clear bottles, including 5-gallon bottles. I think that's very cool. Again, these are just cool features. I appreciate that the cannon sits flat, that you don't have to worry about it being top heavy. It really, if you look at the threads on the top of the bottle, the sprayer head or the top of the foam cannon really screws on tight, and it has a nice fit, which I think is important, you know, fit and features. All these things are really nice. So as you can see right there, the adjustable spray pattern. So you have a wide spray, and then you have a really thin spray. And then let's see what adjusts to you can twist it like that, which this is actually a feature that not very many foam cannons have, except for the MTM ones, where you could actually turn it and spray sideways, which I think is it's actually a really nice feature. It was one of my favorite features of the MTMs and almost made it worthwhile. Could take this off the back with just a simple twist like that. There's your orifice in there if you want to change it out to the 1.1, and just simply screws on. And even though there's no tape, you could put some tape on those threads, but even without tape, that doesn't leak at all. You have your normal quick connect right there. And overall, it just feels like a very nice foam cannon. So to me, it's worth the money to get an extra one. When you compare that to just like the cheapo Amazon foam cannon, which let me say, if you are on a budget, you're starting your detailing business, or you just kind of detail for fun, these foam cannons that are kind of a dime a dozen on Amazon that sell for like, I don't know, $14 to $18 will get you the same foam pretty much that the MJJC version 3 SV3 will get you, though just like the MTM, sometimes it is a much more enjoyable experience if you spend the extra money. But don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan if you're just getting started with just getting the cheapest foam cannon you can if you're just getting started. But it's similar to a lot of the questions I get with like, you know, DA polishers. It's like, well, is the Max Shine just as good as the Rupes? It's like, well, that is a very loaded question, because is it as good as? It'll get the job done, but when you're talking about little things like it doesn't have the stainless ball on the dip tube, it doesn't adjust sideways, it does have a big fan and a small fan, but just look at the difference. You know, it doesn't have adapters for the back where you can easily, you know, switch out the orifice. There's just little tiny things, I guess. You know, the bottle itself tips over a lot, which can lead to it actually breaking and falling apart with this cheaper foam cannon. So there are things, but this is a constant theme in detailing and in life in general, really, that is, you know, usually if you spend a little bit more money, you're gonna have some, I call them niceties, but can you get a paint correction result with a Max Shine or a Porter Cable 7424 as you can with the Rupes, you know, Mach 3 latest and greatest, whatever they're gonna launch at SEMA this year? Absolutely. It's just gonna be a lot more comfortable to use the Rupes or the Flex or whatever, the higher end machines. It's just gonna be a lot more comfortable to get there. And so the same is true with foam cannons. It's just gonna be a lot more comfortable. It's not always the case where the more expensive thing is worth it, but you know, a polisher, if you're doing polishing a lot, a foam cannon, if you're foaming a lot of cars, it's gonna be nicer to have a foam cannon. When you set it down, it's gonna stay there versus risking it falling over. Just preference, you're gonna get great foam, but if you spend a little bit more money, it may be more enjoyable experience. So it depends where you're at in your journey, if you could afford the more enjoyable experience. And of course, a big factor in a lot of this is gonna be what soap you use. So this is hands down one of my favorite soaps. It's Pure Wash by Hybrid Solutions, or Turtle Wax. It's kind of out of stock right now, I guess, at least at the time of this recording, but hopefully they get it back soon. That's what I have in this foam cannon right here. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna measure it. And again, even down to, I'll get on a little high horse right here with the niceties of things sometimes, is that, you know, even the frosted bottle, you can see it's fine, it's nice, but you can't see as well as you can with a clear bottle. Again, not a deal breaker, depends where you are in your journey, what you can afford to spend money on, what you feel and deem appropriate or not. But having a clear bottle just makes it that much easier. It's a little bit less effort. So not sure if it's worth it to you. I'm just sharing my experience. And sometimes, I don't know if it's as you get older, as you have more disposable income, but you start to crave those niceties a little bit more. Hasn't translated to chemicals yet, but for tools, definitely there. So yeah, let's take it outside and foam it and see what it looks like. There's a bunch of background noise. I'm so sorry. My neighbor, I don't know what they do the whole time. So, all right, I have an electric pressure washer. I will link up my pressure washing cart that I have over there. It is an industrial electric pressure washer that usually works better if it's on. So it's definitely over the 2 gallons per minute. It's not plugged in, so I'll plug that in. So plugged in, electric pressure washer plugged in. Let's see if it's on. Okay, so I have an electric pressure washer. It's definitely over the 2 gallons per minute. I have it on a stubby nozzle right here. Let's see. So first, let me get it going. I always like to shoot off to the side. Spray's looking good. I'm gonna turn it all the way down. Another nice feature about this is that it shows you on the top of the gun, like to the right is more foam, to the left is less foam. So I'll turn it all the way down to the left. And then the white part adjusts the foam. and then the blue part would change the angle. So what's nice, like I was talking, when you have it horizontal, you really get into the wheel wells. Some people like to foam the car like this instead of that way. So the blue part of the foam cannon is gonna change the direction. And actually, that was something that I didn't realize I liked until I had the MCM for a little while. And then I'm like, I found myself more times than not using that directional from going vertical to horizontal. But this is with the pure wash foam all the way turned down. So look, I did the whole side of the car, barely maybe an ounce or so of soap and water to do a whole side of the car, and it's thick enough for my liking. So I would imagine what I'll do is turn it all the way up. So when you turn it all the way up, it's going to suck more of the foam, and then you're going to get really thick shaving cream foam like that. But that is, and look, you can see just in doing with it all the way turned up, just in doing the front quarter panel, I used as much soap and water as I did for that whole entire side with it all turned down. So definitely, you know, adjust accordingly, but that is some thick shaving cream foam. So from a foam standpoint, 10 out of 10. We're talking about different directional angles, which I think is just a nicety, a nice feature. But honestly, I give this foam cannon a 10 out of 10. Really, really great. All right, so that concludes this video. What do you think about this foam cannon? Me personally, again, like I talked about when we looked at it up close, it foams insanely, but I think that can be heavily dependent upon your soap choice and your pressure washer choice, or your pressure washer that you have at your disposal. But honestly, there's some real nice things about this foam cannon that I really like. And I'm not just saying that because they sent me a foam cannon. Again, I'm really happy with the $13, $14 foam cannon. I've had that for years and years and years. They're easily replaceable. But I will say that it is frustrating when your foam cannon falls over and breaks in the middle of a job. It just is a little frustrating, even if you have another one on hand. So there are just nice things that I like about this foam cannon. So I would definitely highly recommend this foam cannon if you're looking for a seemingly high quality and a high quality foam cannon. So again, there's a ton of features and things that I think that are just nice about it and that I like about it. And overall, I would rate this a 10 out of 10 and would definitely highly recommend it if you're looking to purchase a new foam cannon. So hope you guys enjoyed that video. Hope you'll choose to subscribe. You can do that with the big red button on your way down to the comment section to leave your thoughts, feelings, and emotions down there for me to read about and overanalyze in my own head. So with that, I will catch you guys on the next video. See ya.